We turn now to the top Democrat on the House Intelligence Committee, who is also a member of the Select Committee on Benghazi. Congressman Adam Schiff joins us from Los Angeles. Congressman, I want to start with the other party for you really quickly. What do you think having Paul Ryan as Speaker will do for congressional relations with Democrats?
I heard he's a very bright guy, and Paul is somebody that we can work with, and I hope my saying so isn't going to hurt his chances. So it's a new start, but I think he's going to confront, frankly, many of the same challenges that Speaker Boehner did, and that is as long as you have a very sizable number of GOP members that aren't really interested in governing, but more interested in tearing down, who won't support things like increasing the debt ceiling that are necessary to avoid a default on our credit, he's going to still have the same problems, structural problems within his conference. I'm not sure how that gets solved, but frankly, we need a functional majority party. Since they're the governing party, we need a speaker who can deliver his own members so that we can get yes to yes on some very important issues.
I want to switch now to talking about the Benghazi hearing last week and your views on that. Chris Christie, the governor of New Jersey, when I compared Hillary Clinton's role at the State Department to his own issues with accountability, he said the difference was that when on the George Washington Bridge scandal, when he found out something was happening, he fired people, he was holding people accountable. He said that did not happen with Hillary Clinton. Why is it that that didn't happen?
Well, you know, as the Accountability Review Board looked into this, they found that the level of responsibility for the security was among the security professionals at the department. They, frankly, castigated those that were responsible. And then, as the Secretary pointed out in the hearing, there was a process to determine what the discipline of those individuals would be. I think, it's fair fodder for the political campaign to make an issue, if they wish, about whether these people should have been fired or whether the Secretary had the power to fire them. But frankly, that's not the job of our investigatory committee. We're supposed to be looking into what happened in Benghazi, and I think we need to try to separate that from the political issues. We saw during the hearing, and I think this was really the main takeaway, that notwithstanding all these 17 months of supposedly looking for new facts about Benghazi, there was nothing new that emerged from the hearing, and that was, I think, acknowledged by our chairman. And after 17 months and $4.5 million, if we can't say anything new, if we can't shed any new light or be able to tell the families anything of particular significance that we didn't know already, it's very difficult to justify the continuation of this investigation.
You said there was nothing new, but as Chairman Nunes pointed out and others have pointed out, there was some new information about what Hillary Clinton knew on the night of the attack, and that story was different, that it was a terrorist attack, than the one that ultimately dribbled out over the next several days. So that seems to be important if we expect people to tell us the truth when they are our leaders.
Well, it is important, but it's not new. And we did an investigation, and Devin was a part of that in the Intelligence Committee that looked at, frankly, each of these conflicting streams of intelligence as they came in. The early claims by Ansar al-Sharia of responsibility that were very quickly followed with human intelligence, signals intelligence, open source reporting that there was a protest. It wasn't until about 8 to 10 days after the events where we actually got the tapes from the compound that we could see quite demonstrably on those tapes that there had been no protest. But it was the considered judgment, the assessment of the intelligence experts for that week until we got those tapes that there had been a protest, and that turned out to be wrong. But to criticize Secretary Clinton for relying on the best of intelligence that we had at the time seems to me wholly inappropriate. Have she had spoken, frankly, in contradiction of what our intelligence agencies were telling her, that might be something to criticize. But the fact that as she related and as Ambassador Rice and others related, the information at the time, it was the best information we had. And the fact that that was wrong initially doesn't change the fact that they were reflecting the best that we knew at the time.
All right, Congressman Adam Schiff, thanks so much for being with us. We'll be right back with our panel.